Hey everyone, I'm Deplorable Bobby. I want to welcome you to this video, and I want to thank those of you who've joined me on my live stream last night. We had a good time, and I was glad you were there. Believe it or not, you people make my live streams and my videos with your presence, with your views, your comments, and your likes. And I'm going to tell you people, those likes mean a heck of a lot. Those likes help you go up the ladder on the suggested viewing section of YouTube. So hit the like button every chance you get. It's greatly appreciated. My PayPal information is going to be in the link below. If you'd like to contribute to my channel, anything is greatly appreciated. As I've said many times on my live streams and my videos, Michelle at Forbidden Information and I are struggling, and we're trying to come up with the money to go to D.C. She's already talked to quite a few politicians in D.C. and people with a little bit of political clout, and many of them have agreed to meet us. We just need to get our ducks in a row and get our funds together so she and I can go to D.C. and ask the hard questions, pray for the hard answers, but knock on doors and try to get these people to talk to us. We want to talk to them about abortion. And I promise you, if I have an opportunity, I will bring up the Second Amendment as well. So if you can contribute to myself or Michelle at Forbidden Information, it's greatly appreciated. Help us get to D.C. Help us to make a difference. If you listen to the demon rats and the mainstream media, President Trump's stance on immigration is out of touch with the American people, and he's simply pandering to his conservative base. Well, Chuck U. Schumer said that I have not seen the president be serious about dealing with immigration. He uses the issues to rile up his base. I guess we, as Trump's base, are protesting and breaking laws all across America. I don't see that happening, people. The people who are protesting across America are the demon rats. But you know, we have creepy pedophile Uncle Joe Biden, and he has to weigh in on every issue. And he says this is about dividing and raising the issue of racism across America because that's his base. So Biden is saying that Trump's base, you and I, are a bunch of racists. People, we're pro-life. And pro-life people cannot be racist. We can get very upset and we can get tired of certain people, but it has nothing to do with their color. 99.99% of the time, it's simply the demon rats that we have opposition with. It's not anyone in their particular race. We patriots and our president are now all racist to all demon rats because they say so. Well, just because you demon rats push your lies and your corruption about we patriots and President Trump, as well as his voters, does not make your lies a truth in reality. It may be a truth in your altered reality that you live in, because demon rats, I don't believe for a moment you live in the true reality. You don't live in the real world. You're on some kind of acid trip or something. I don't know what your problem is. But every one of you prove every time you open your mouth what idiots you are and how you preach the downfall of this country, the downfall of our president. All you want is socialism in this country, and we're not going to stand for it. We patriots and Trump are not going to let you destroy this wonderful country of ours. You demon rats are living in a fantasy land, and you believe your own lies when it comes to life across America. You don't have any idea how people across America actually live. You live in your ivory towers, behind your walls, with your security, and your limousines, and your $500 meals, and your $1,000 suits. People, they don't live in our reality. They live in that altered state of reality that they live in D.C. You don't care a thing about the rule of law, demon rats, and you never have, because the rule of law does not apply to you. It only applies to President Trump and to any patriot, and that's a fact. You dams have to be caught literally with your pants down before you can be charged or busted for anything that you're guilty of. And we're seeing that with Epstein. Thank God he's behind bars. That's one demon rat that I don't think we'll have to worry about being on the streets of America for a long time. A little bit on the asylum issue. When President Trump says there's widespread abuse of the asylum rules, and many who claim asylum are not really fleeing persecution in their home countries. You know, the demon rats media arm, the mainstream media, they scream that that's racist, and he's just riling up his base. Like I said, his base doesn't need to be riled up. We're already riled up, and we're fed up as well. The demon rats also love blaming the president for chaos at the southern border, and they say that he alone has manufactured this crisis. It's a manufactured crisis. He made it himself. And I guess all of us patriots are helping him. The Skeletor Pelosi, I have something to say to you. Get off of your high horse and end the sanctimonious lectures and actually solve the problem by passing common sense immigration reforms, as you are supposed to do, as you were elected to do, but you failed to do. Not just you, but all of your demon rat cohorts, for lack of a better word. I can't even speak. For lack of a better word. The demon rats are pandering to their own voters and to their own voter base. It's not Trump. He doesn't have to pander. But these demon rats have to. And they're pandering free health care for illegal aliens. Free health care for all. The deep blue loony left in California actually oppose this. So that tells you exactly how far left these demon rats in Washington are going if the loony left in California don't go along with it. So what does that tell you? The progressive demon rats want to abolish ICE altogether. They want to open our southern borders to every person in the entire world wanting to come here. Dems say deportation is immoral and it's evil. Americans don't want people deported. It's not who we really are, she says. Well, really? Is that really what you think, Pelosi? You're showing once again just how far disconnected you are from the American people. You've been in Congress way too long. You've had too much adrenochrome. I tell you, Pelosi, every time you open your mouth, you make a fool of yourself. I hope I live long enough to see you out of Congress altogether, along with a lot of other people, like Maxine Waters and all these other idiot demon rats. You know, 25% of Americans, all of them, of that 25%, want illegal aliens deported, regardless of whether crossing the border is their only crime or not. You know, it is a crime to come across our southern border illegally. So yes, I say send them all back. Send them back to those S-hole countries they came from. Let them go back over there and continue to destroy their own country. Don't bring them in here to destroy ours. Research shows that 45% of Americans want immigrants who commit crimes deported. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, 45% say that illegal aliens who commit crimes should be deported. That is crazy. It ought to be 100%. Every American in this country should not want to keep in this country an illegal alien who commits crimes. They need to be deported, and they need to be deported quickly. Not put on some kind of docket in a court somewhere 5 years down the road. But you know, only 1% of the demon rats support deportation of criminals crossing the border. Out of all of the demon rats in this country, only 1% support deporting criminals back to their home country. That's telling me that 99% of all demon rats want criminals in this country, just like Trump says. He wants open borders. He wants to allow criminals to come across at will. That's exactly what these demon rats want. But Trump's not going to give it to them. And neither are we. You know, while President Trump is speaking for America and standing up for America and trying to do what's right, the Dems are pandering to their base. It's not President Trump. We support him. He doesn't have to pander to his base. We're already behind him. I want to jump ship to another story. Catholic Bishop Ruben Montoya is to perform, get this, a mass exorcism of the Colombian port city of Buenaventura during the city's annual Patron Saints Festival. Now he's going to perform an exorcism on the whole town all at one time. There must be a lot of evil there if he's determined to exorcise the whole town. Well, Montoya said, we want to go around the whole of Buenaventura from the air, and we're going to pour holy water on them from the air. We're going to use a helicopter, and we're going to drop this holy water on the people in an attempt to exorcise all of the demons who are destroying our port city and to get rid of all wickedness in the city streets. I think I pronounced this city wrong the last time, but it's Buenaventura. It's Colombia's largest port city, and it's notorious for drug trafficking and for violence and criminal gangs. So this bishop's going to exorcise those demons out of the entire city. I'm going to tell you, people, if he could do that, that would be a sight to see. But Bishop Montoya continued, in Buenaventura, we must get rid of the devil to see if we can return to the tranquility that the city has lost because of crime, corruption, and pure evil due to drug and human trafficking. It will be a great public demonstration for the entire city. We will pour holy water to see if bad things and the devil is expelled from Buenaventura. Although efforts to tackle the violence by creating a humanitarian zone in the city didn't work. They tried to make a safe zone there, and it just did not work because in that safe zone so far this year, 51 people have already been murdered. in that safe zone. In Catholicism, holy water is nothing more than water blessed by a priest for the purposes of baptism and as a means to repel evil. Well, the real truth of the matter is that holy water usually comes straight from the kitchen sink. It's not water sent from heaven, and it's not blessed by God Himself. A priest will say a simple prayer over the tap water, and by the unseen miracles of God, the tap water is sanctified and turned into holy water. But I'll tell you what I believe. If God wanted you to have holy water to sprinkle on people's heads, if He wanted to give you holy water to drop on an entire city from a helicopter, I believe that God has the power and the ability to produce holy water. We don't need you, Mr. Priest, going to a sink somewhere, be it a bathroom faucet, a kitchen faucet, or even the toilet bowl. It doesn't matter where you get your water. It will never be holy water. As long as you think that as long as you pray over it, that water is holy, then you're badly mistaken. If God wanted us to have holy water, we'd have holy water, and you can bet on it. And it would have real power, true power, from the one living God, and not from a priest saying a false prayer. Enough about that. This next segment is called Abortion is Freedom. Almost overnight, a small East Texas town has become a battleground for America's divisive debate over women's reproductive health care rights. Well, Wascom, Texas is a little town located near the border of Louisiana, and it has absolutely no abortion clinics. Well, according to Scuttlebutt, they got words that these abortion clinics in Louisiana were thinking about setting up some satellite abortion clinics over in East Texas. And this little town of Wascom didn't like that not one bit. So here's what they did. An all-male city council passed a city ordinance. I mean, it was mostly written by, get this, an anti-abortion group. Good. Declaring it is a sanctuary for the unborn. That's great news. We need more sanctuary cities for the unborn. The city council said that the sanctuary status is a preventative measure, fearing that Louisiana's latest abortion restrictions could prompt abortion clinics to move across the Texas border, as I just said. Billboards are popping up all over East Texas, stating that abortion is freedom. And it directs women seeking to have their preborn children murdered to websites with information on local abortion clinics across Louisiana and East Texas. Heated disagreements have broken out since the billboards have went up, and women all across the East Texas area there are praising the billboards as something wonderful for the murdering abortion community. They think it's great news, and the murdering abortion community is all up and happy about that. Saying the phrase abortion is freedom is absolutely the wrong message to send into our towns and communities. It's crazy to me. In essence, the billboards are saying, kill your preborn children because you are free to do so. And do you think for 1 minute that children riding with their parents down the highway, these kids are learning how to read. They know how to read. They know what abortion is. And when you see a billboard that says abortion is freedom, it's out there for the entire world to see. It's out there to be seen by children and the old alike. I understand this is probably part of the First Amendment, but I know this much. Putting abortion billboards out there saying abortion is freedom is teaching the wrong message to all Americans, not just the young children. "31-year-old Kerry Gosden, he spoke out publicly against the ban. And he says, it baffles me how all-white group of men can adopt an ordinance making abortion illegal within the city limits of Wascom, Texas." So, here's that old story again. A bunch of old conservative white men are making the laws. Well, Mr. Gosden accused the city council of being hypocrites because these same men on the city council would drive hours to abortion clinics if their teen child was pregnant and could compromise their lofty positions in local society and on the church pews if it were found out. Now you see, this has never happened. This has never happened in the town of Wascom. But yet this idiot, Mr. Gosden, he's sitting here literally accusing these people who came up with this ordinance. He's accusing them of taking their pregnant teens to find abortion clinics. And that's a out and out blackface lie. He made this up. But see, that's how the demon rats do it. They'll make up a total fabrication and they'll put it out there like it's something that has happened or will happen. He has no idea what these men would do if their daughters became pregnant with an unwanted child. It's none of his business to try to look into these people's minds and hearts and speak for them in such a derogatory way just to make himself look good and them look bad. Women living in Wascom who oppose the ordinance and support the evil message on the billboards, they say they fear being shunned by their church, and some saying that in some cases even by their husbands. So let me get this straight. You're going to a church and you're worried about being shunned by the people in the church. Well, first of all, if you're murdering preborn babies or you support murdering preborn babies, I venture to say that you're probably the biggest hypocrite in the church. And yeah, you should be shunned. How can you go to a church that believes in the living God and that all life is precious because it's created by God, but yet you want to take God's place? You want to make the decisions on abortion. You want to make abortion okay everywhere. Well, God's not okay with abortion, and it's very plain since the beginning of time. So yeah, if you are pro-abortion and you go to church, you should be shunned. The only time you need to go to church is when you decide to go in there and drop on your knees and pray to the living God to save your sorry soul. Other than that, don't be going to our churches. Don't be going to our places of worship to spread your hate and your pro-abortion. Oh, you get me riled up, your pro-abortion views. The city ordinance cites that any organization performing abortions and or assisting women in obtaining abortions are declared a criminal organization. So if Planned Parenthood or anybody else that's pro-abortion comes in there, they've already been labeled as a criminal organization, and they will not be given a business license and will be promptly run out of town, I imagine. It shall be unlawful for any organization to offer services of any type, or to rent office space, or to purchase property, or to establish any physical presence of any sort within the city limits of Wascom. Pro-abortion activists say that we will not be intimidated, and we will work to expand and to protect abortion. We'll protect access to abortion in Texas, and we want all women to know that abortion is still legal and available to them. The mayor of Waskom insisted the matter is closed, and we are done with the abortion issues, insisting that the move in Waskom, Texas was solely about keeping an abortion clinic from ever opening their doors in our city. As for me, I don't believe in abortion. I know there are many other options other than abortion. Adoption is one. Abortion is unacceptable for any reason. There's always more options. Abortion is not the only option. But many times, it's the first and the only option that these women even look at. I try my best to be a good Christian patriot. I pray for the people who, in my mind, are lost and undone in the eyes of God, who choose to murder our preborn children in today's society. It's a sad day in America, people, when we have to fight over killing our preborn children or not. It's a crying shame that we have come to this. It's a crying shame that we ever allowed this to take place in the first place. People, stand on the right side. Protect our preborn children with your prayers. Pray for these preborn children that they'll be birthed and live happy and fulfilled lives. But we all know that over 60 million babies have already been killed and murdered in America by Planned Parenthood and their affiliates, simply for convenience. That's what abortion is all about. It's all about convenience. No matter what the issue is, financial, problem with a relationship, no matter what it is, abortion is done for convenience, no matter what you call it. People, pray for each other. Pray for the Patriot family. Pray for me and pray for Michelle that we'll get to D.C. My name's Deplorable Bobby. This is the way I see it. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a good day.